Alrighty, we are in there. Bam! What do you think of the new look, guys? Happy New Year. I mean, I know we're almost 3 weeks overdue, but yeah. Here we are, first stream of the new year. It's been a while. Because, I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago? There was not a One Piece chapter unexpectedly, and then the week after that, there was also unexpectedly not a new One Piece chapter. So I already did like a last minute like stream cancellation like those 2 weeks ago, and I already didn't like that. And then the week after that, well before that, I'll say about my last like community post that I put out on like social media everywhere. I said that the new episode would be ready like the day after. Should have said the week after. So yeah, when it came to last week, when I found out that there was going to be no One Piece again, I had to be a quick thinker about it, and so I did my best and I hammered out the details of our second video, and then I put it out just in time. So I thought that was a suitable substitute. So that way you didn't feel like you got nothing like 2 weeks in a row. We took a break, and then instead of a stream, you got a video. So I think that's okay. Very glad to have finally finished editing that. That was in the works for a long time. Much longer than expected, and that does not make me happy. I was able to get it done slightly faster than the first video, and I want the next video to be wrapped up even faster than that. I'm planning on the next episode being me and my best friend Jaren watching Spawn for the first time, because I've seen little bits and pieces of it here and there, but never like the whole bloody affair, right? And that was supposed to be a video for Halloween, which is why we watched it in the first place. We recorded that in October, but hey, whatever. Like, any time of the year is good for a superhero movie. Am I right? Which, speaking of, Marvel has been cooking, and so I figured we'd go ahead and glimpse the like one or two new Doomsday trailers that they dropped since the last time I streamed. And there's supposed to be a new trailer for Flix Piece, live action One Piece by Netflix. We call it Flix Piece around here. We'll be checking that out too. We got the new chapter of One Piece. Got it pulled up right over here. And then maybe some Bloons Tower Defense 6. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like. I have no idea how long this stream is going to be. But yeah, we got a new look. I've been teasing it for a while, and we finally have a new overlay, new branding on all my social media accounts. So, hey, what do you think? I swapped out the violet for pink, and I changed up the aesthetic. So instead of being very like mid '90s themed, it's more early '90s themed. Like I took a lot of inspiration from the intro to Saved by the Bell. If you've ever seen that, that is like the most early '90s thing ever. Just shapes and colors all over, and I almost just like gave the people's elbow to my mic over here. Why does it seem like my camera's moving? The gesture technology had better not be on. I turned that off. Freaking hate the gesture technology because I talk a lot with my hands, you know? I don't know. Let's see. That's a little better. Yep, I'm pretty proud this time. I think I really cooked here. You know me, I'm big into graphic design, so we've got like a new thumbnail format. The one thing that well, not the one thing. There are a few things uh, that need tweaked, but one of the things that has not changed that I'm working on right now is the let's see, the airing soon intermission and end screens. Those are gonna need replacing. Um, yeah, I'm working on that right now. Problem is, I really want to have like some music to go with those. And there's this one guy who offers up copyright free music. Uh, but I still need to get in contact with him to get his permission. And it's been like a really long time. It's been like 4 months since I've reached out to him. I left a comment on his video, and then just like 1 or 2 days ago, I sent him an email, and he still hasn't gotten back to me. Um, I would not be copying his music wholesale. I made my own like little lo-fi remix of it, which I think should make it okay. But I really want to get his permission first, and he, I don't know. I have just not been able to get in contact with him at all. It may be that I have to, you know, uh, break out the old guitar and score my own little intro music. I don't know. It's been a while. I bet you didn't even know that I can play guitar at all. Um, I mean, that's kind of a sad story, really, because uh, I used to have visions of being like a really epic guitar player when I was like a teenager, and I talked my parents into paying a lot of money for lessons and buying a very expensive guitar, two expensive guitars, in fact. And at some point, I realized that I just had to quit because uh, it just turned out to be a lot harder than I expected. Like I was learning, but I was not committing. Like I was not taking the time to practice. There were weekly lessons, um, but weekly lessons only do so much. You really need to practice uh, when you can, like all the time, if you're ever actually going to get better at playing guitar. And I just wasn't ready to make that commitment, and I didn't realize that at the time. So I wasted a lot of my parents' money, and it's sad. It's sad and embarrassing, and I should not have done that. But I mean, I have the basics. I know more now than I did at the start. Um, but I really have to like get the rust off to be able to play that guitar again. Right now, I got it hidden under my bed in its little guitar case. The first guitar, very sadly, I don't even know how it happened, but it just straight up broke. That's a bummer. I still have it. I told myself at some point I would pay to have it fixed, but I don't know if that's really going to happen. Probably not. I don't know. But yeah, 2026. Wow, it doesn't even feel real. Like 2026 does not feel like a real year. 2025 feels like a real year. 2027 feels like a real year. Uh, 2026 does not feel like a real year. It feels weird. Hmm. But things are shaping up to be a pretty robust year for Cross Age Productions. I've been saving up and buying new computer parts one by one. I just need like one little missing piece to assemble the behemoth. You know, the big epic new computer that's gonna let us finally get some more gaming content done on this channel, which was the original vision, really. Well, the original vision was always to be more eclectic, do a little bit of this, that, whatever. Because I got a lot of different interests: anime, superheroes, uh, gaming, rock and roll. Like right here, this is my rock and roll shirt with all the different bands on it that I got from my late uncle. Man, it's already almost been a year since he passed. That's wild. Yeah, speaking of L family members, if you do hear any commotion in the back, my grandma is with me right now, and she's kind of not really doing all that well. So that's why. And if I do have to like suddenly get up for any reason, it'll probably be because every once in a while she needs help. Yeah. So before digging into the meat of the stream, I thought we'd do just a little reminiscing. Where's my Neo? That's huh. Hold on a second. That doesn't seem right. What's this? That sucks. That still has the old overlay. I thought I had a new one that had like the big screen. Well, whatever. We'll keep it old school for now. But let's see. No, 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 no. Daggone it. Hold on. Uh, there we go. That's better. That's much better. And you don't need to see my subscriptions. I mean, you kind of did see them already. And it doesn't really bother me that much, but I just prefer to be private about it. Because you know how it is on YouTube. You think everything's going fine, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden, uh, someone that you used to enjoy watching does something politically incorrect, something cancelable, and now all of a sudden it's bad. You're not supposed to be watching them. They're bad. They're wrong. You shouldn't be watching them. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a little reminiscing over the past 1 or 2 years of Cross Age Productions. There's my oldest streams right there with the old seafoam green, the old thumbnail format, and yeah, there's my old Psychonauts streams. Still really want to play Psychonauts 2, but my computer is really fussy about it. So it is coming. The Psychonauts 2 playthrough is coming. It's just, man, it's tough. That was a blast, by the way. It's too bad because that was like the first game I ever played on the stream, and I was so like locked in that I feel like I kind of underreacted to beating Raz's dad in one try. Never ever done that before, so I was super stoked about it. Like maybe I didn't show in the stream, but inside I was like, oh. And then let's see. I'm trying to think. When was it? Hold on, gotta dig up the dark past. So if I look at my content and I go to live, and I go, yeah, July 12th was the Gunsmith Cats stream that crashed and burned, and I got a copyright warning. So that's like the lost episode. Um, July 12th. I'm trying to pin that on the timeline here. Yeah, okay, so hold on a sec. I didn't like expose myself, did I? Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally like reveal some very sensitive information. Like if there was something really bad, I would have to start the stream over. No, that's not right. There we go. But yeah, things are going okay. They're going cool. I mean, I did kind of get copyright IDs on some on these Scott Pilgrim takes off streams. So that was yucky. I had to like go back and do like the weird. I don't know how they do it, but you know, the feature that like selectively edits out copyrighted audio, but still keeps the dialogue. But the dialogue is a little, I don't know. It kind of sounds like you're shouting down the other end of a cardboard tube or something. The Hey Arnold stream was the scariest because I know that Paramount is an infamous like alpha predator of the copyright sphere, where they don't like anybody touching anything that they've ever had a hand in. So if it seems like I'm running my mouth a lot in that stream, that's why. It's because I don't want the audio getting copyright ID'd. It's a stream that I really wanted to do, but at the same time, I didn't want to do it. And then right around this time is when I had to like stop watching stuff for a while. Like it was just One Piece and painting and like weird little odd bits. Um, because I was in YouTube jail for a while following the Gunsmith Cat stream, and I had to find other forms of content to do. This one right here, the stream of chaos, that's probably one of my most like shameful streams. because that was one I was talking about, like the whole um, Tyga losing his channel stuff. And it's not that I've changed my stance on it. It's just I kind of realized that's not the kind of content that I want to have on this channel anymore. I try not to do that. I just try to keep the drama to myself mostly because a lot of times it feels like talking about it just doesn't actually do any good. All it does is create division. The first unboxing stream was also a disgrace. Um, yeah, I got that figure, and then I had to like put it together and paint it, and I did a terrible job about it. And then there was like another drama stream that I did that I regret now. I don't like that. So those streams are probably going to come down at some point. If you want to like clip those streams now, I would suggest now is the time. I think this one got copyright. Got like uh, audio copyright ID'd at some point. I don't remember. Let me pull up my stuff again. Look at my content. It's it it's where is it? Yeah, it's these ones where it's copyright protected content found. The owner allows it to be used on YouTube, but that's always really sketch, because when you run into that, you got to ask like, at what point are they going to change their minds and decide that they don't want it allowed anymore, and then you get like retroactively struck, and I have to do something about that. Both of those uh, last Flexbender streams got hit. But the last one did not, oddly enough. So that was weird. And here we go. This is when I changed the look of the channel. Went to like violets and like very mid 90s themes. I loved watching The Thief and the Cobbler on stream. I thought that was a blast. I had seen bits and pieces of it, but never the whole thing all the way through. Uh, Within the last year, that was like my first time playing Balloons Tower Defense on stream. And we had like the little like reminiscence where we went through like all the old BTD games, and that was fun. And I've been doing that more. Kind of just as a bit of filler because again, when gaming content on the channel is kind of limited by my hardware, you gotta you gotta adapt. You gotta make do with what you got. Surprise stream. I don't remember that. Huh. Birthday stream. There's the first Flicks May Cry stream. You don't see the second one because it's blocked because of copyright. What was there? What was it again? It was. I keep going back to YouTube Studio and looking at my content because I don't think it's a strike. It's not a strike. Uh, it's been blocked worldwide. I don't know if that's a strike. It's blocked and no one is able to watch it. So let me look at the deets. Can't be seen due to one or more claims. The copyright claims on your video don't affect your channel. This is not a copyright. Thank you. It's always a little scary going back and seeing like the big red sign that says that you made an oopsie. Always makes me sick to my stomach. But spring break, I don't remember what I did. A lot of these I don't remember. This is when I was making my like fan made Final Fantasy MTG set. I gotta like make a proper video out of that and then link the fan made set so that other people can play it. Same goes for my fan made last Avatar or last Avatar. Well, it should have been the last Avatar because Legend of Korra is yeah. Yeah. I have actually been thinking about making another fan made set, but I really should like make videos, like proper videos out of the fan made sets I've made already. Bullet Time got a lot of views for some reason. I'm glad about it though. I mean, that was great animation. The Incredible Hulk stream was really, really bad. I that DVD was really scuffed. But then we played Undertale, and that was freaking awesome. I mean, you should already know, right? I mean, this is a pretty legendary game. I rated it a 10 out of 10. Like, straight up, no hyperbole. It's one of the best. One of the all-time greats. And, yeah. And this one, this is another one of my favorites. The one where I did, like, Conqueror's Hockey user tier list, where I singled out the characters that I thought were frauds. But yeah, that was fun. And then there's the stream that we're watching right now. How do you like the new look? This is going to be what the thumbnails are going to be looking like from now on. Oh, by the way, this thumbnail right here, not. I had a very different. Well, not very different. Originally, this thumbnail was going to be different. It was going to have a more clear view of Ripley's assets. But then I was worried that YouTube was going to complain about it, so I tweaked it slightly, and thankfully has not been an issue. So going forward, I already talked a little bit about it. Talked about making a video with my friend Jaren. A couple of them, because we also watched the Uzumaki anime together and had a big old laugh about that. That was like another Halloween thing that we did together. Videos on like my fan made sets, videos on everything. I got a huge, enormous backlog of footage to edit into video format, as well as a new version of the little introductory video where when I rewatched it, I noticed that the timing on like one or two jokes was off, and so I made an edited version. And so I'm gonna do a little switcheroo at some point. Also gotta like work on my first short. But yeah. Oh, you also get to enjoy my new banner. What do you think of that? I was worried it might be a little too feminine, but I mean, that's not really a big deal. I can show my feminine side a little bit. This is very like mallcore. This feels like '90s super mall like fashion boutique style, like like very Claire's looking. Okay, well now we're gonna go ahead and check out the new One Piece chapter. That's gonna be cool. I'll let you know up front. The two things that I know about this chapter already are that the flashback is ending. Finally. I mean, the only part of the flashback that I really thought was bad was the part with Rocks because he just, I don't know, he felt like a really, really disappointing character. For being the guy that was hyped up as being like him, like absolute alpha and omega of Chadness. Like he just came off as kind of mid. And he had a cool design, cool characterization, but his feats, and he just seemed to like hijack the whole narrative to where all of a sudden the story was about him. I was more interested in other things. We did get some cool reveals, like about the Davy clan and stuff. Although it feels a little weird. Like we've still got we already had plenty on our plates in terms of like secret clans. You know, we had the D's and the Buccaneers and stuff. Do we really need like another secret clan that is an enemy of the government? It feels like we're kind of treading old ground there. But hey, the Navy backfight arc has finally become somewhat relevant. It might actually have ties to like an ancient pirate tradition that ties into like a legendary pirate. So, and the other thing I know about this chapter is that it's got emu in it. So, looking forward to some of that. But here we go. We've got chapter 1171, Ragnar. Cover request: a cat putting cat ears on Zoro. I wonder what the next cover story is going to be. I mean, I'm not asking for it too soon. I could use a little break. Just I like these fun little cover requests and color spreads and stuff. But I am wondering. I figure it's going to be one of two things. Uh, if we're on the good timeline, then we're gonna get a cover story about the like weird composite Vegapunk uh, going to the weather area and possibly like floating around the world and have his own little scientific adventures. If we're on the bad timeline, then we're going to get a cover story where where it turns out that Kaido and Big Mom are actually alive and they've just been floating on the magma stream under the Earth's crust, and they get spat out like a volcano in another location somewhere in the world, and then they have like their own little adventure. Like maybe they lost their memories, you know, like how Big Mom lost her memories before, and they just have a silly little adventure where they're not important characters anymore. I don't know. I'd like to think that those characters are gone for good. That we could just commit to these characters being dead, dead, all the way dead, and not having to think about them or worry about them ever again. Let's see. The wake of the fierce battle at Oest Castle. I still really struggle with the pronunciation of that. I assume it's Oest. What do you do when it's a name that's got like three vowels in a row, right? If Harold left the castle in that state, he would have brought great calamity to the world. I had a taste of that hopeless future during the fight. Huh. No matter how badly we want to, it's about to keep preparing. So, So Scoper can see the future as well. He's got that like future sight. That's like I'm used to that just being like the near future though, like the next few like 10 or 20 seconds at most. Not like I don't know. Is he saying that he can see like way into the future? I had a taste of that hopeless future during the fight. He would have brought great calamity to the world. Uh, mm, I don't know. Is there like crazy super duper future sight that lets you see way out? I know Charlie has her own thing that's like really. It always bothered me. Charlie's like uh, premonitions because that is such an outlier in the power system. It's just completely unprecedented. Like, oh, there's this one person who can see decades into the future and no one else can. I don't know. I won't say no one because there's also very clearly like a prophecy angle to this story, so we'll see. It's shocking to think something actually stopped him. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Because the only time I can think of, okay, I don't know. Last time it was what? Uh, did let me like fact check this. Wasn't it just like a big hit with like I'm not clear if it was like Conqueror's Hockey Infused or what, but it was like a big hit from Loki with Ragnar, and that was like the one thing that could overpower Harold's regeneration and bring him down for good. And then before that, it was Garp and Roger throwing everything that they could into one big hit that could take down rocks. And it seemed like well, I'm not going to go all the way back, but it seemed like it didn't it didn't wipe him out, but it like kind of knocked him out of his like superpowered state. So I mean, if Scoper and Shanks can't muster up the Conqueror's Hockey needed to overpower this regeneration, then that's this regeneration stuff is really overpowered. That seems pretty nuts. And I guess this isn't necessarily like Shanks at his peak. He's still got a ways to go, but like supposed to be strong. He's supposed to be really strong, even at this early stage. So I don't know. I don't know why it bothers me so much that like Emu and his powers and the regeneration that he offers to people is just like so overpowered. I guess it just begs the question of like if Emu could do this and like bring people under his thrall and give them like these phenomenal dark powers, like why he hasn't just taken over the world by now and snuffed out all threats to like world domination. Did you know the sacred treasure would be that powerful, Ja Rule? No, I knew nothing about it. All I know is I get chills down my spine when I imagine what would have happened if Loki hadn't been here today. Wait, Ja Rule didn't know anything about it? Wasn't he like a past ruler? I don't know. I don't know how it works. It's weird stuff. Like there's a king, but there's also elders. There's the kingdom of giants, but then there's the giant warrior pirates, and sometimes it feels a little muddled the distinction between those. where it feels like the giant warrior pirates are indistinguishable from just a straight up naval force for the giants. By the way, we should be figuring out um, why Loki takes the rap for just like for taking down Harold in cold blood, because that was a weird thing. Like Ja Rule's a witness. Um, all these like guards that survived, they are all witnesses to the day that Harold lost his mind and had to be put down by his own son. So the idea that Loki is now a pariah because he takes the blame for the fact that Harold's not around anymore is kind of weird. Also, I saw a meme this past week, not related, but it is funny when it has Garp like calling Rayleigh and being like, "Is there a reason that Roger asked me to take care of Ace and not you?" And then Rayleigh's just like, "I don't know, lol." That is a little weird, I must admit. When I join God's Knights, it'll be a new dawn for Elbaf. If you have any wish, simply name it, and it will be within your reach. You've truly endured a miserable squalid life until now, my poor child. Oh, okay. This is Garling talking to Shanks. So it's like cold and like utterly sociopathic as Garling is. At least he seems to express some genuine love for his son. Granted, it's entirely conditional, and it's only because he has, the blood of the gods within him. If it was anyone else, Garling would not care if he lived or died. And I imagine it's also entirely dependent on Shanks being loyal to the cause of God's Knights. I don't imagine Shanks and Garling are still on good terms now that Shanks has gone back to his life of piracy. Forget your former life on the surface. The commoners down there don't even count as people. Shanks? Hey, Shanks. Oh man, his arm is going. The geostigma. That's a bad habit. You should never resent the circumstances of your birth. Why did Harold have to die? He was such a pure soul. If only I had been faster. This isn't your fault. Listen, Shanks. You're here for a reason. Everyone's life has some meaning to it. You just gotta hold on. Is this what happens when you love your country too much? This sucks. Dang. What? What am I looking at? Is is Harold being censored right now, or has he really been reduced to just like a stain on the floor with a pair of legs on it? Dang. He was a rare ancient giant, enhanced with even more power and an undying body. Those traits made him a true monster, and yet he was still killed? Who could have? Is something unforeseen lurking on Elbaf? We should have the abyss pentagram carved by Harold inspected. That shall not be necessary. It would only result in the death of another knight. Every covenant comes with a price to be paid, even from Mu. Oh boy. Foreshadowing. Well, foreshadowing for them, not for us. He had no qualms about lowering his head to appease humans. All he ever saw was communion with other nations and peoples. Harold was a total aberration, and yet he was born with the blood of those savage, battle-loving giants. Had we admitted him into the government flippantly, his very presence might have destroyed it from within. Elbaf should never have known a king of his disposition. Forging a covenant with a cooperative ancient giant like him was an unprecedented opportunity. The disappointing outcome proves that history does not lie. We were always going to be incompatible. Never forget, Elbaf is of the D. Interesting. Elbaf is of the D. Elbaf. Like, all of Elbaf? Every giant that lives there is actually secretly a D? Is that what this is? And I do think that that Harold smiled as he died. I think that that what's her name, Ida, also smiled as she died. Is her real name like IDA? Huh. Interesting. Loki, after this, the country will be in disarray. I'm heading out to sea, old timer. I'll take the surviving soldiers with me. What about Harold's final request? Tell the people of Elbaf what happened here. There's no way I can tell them the truth. Just drop it, all of you. Oh, it was Loki's decision. Okay. All right, fair enough. Don't speak a word of what happened here today. If we say nothing, who do you think they'll blame for all this? It'll be the same as always. Say I were to become king. Can you see me actually honoring Father's ideals? I can only tackle this in my own way. With this ability, I'll settle the regrets of the old man and his soldiers. Interesting. And the black borders are going away. We're finally getting out of the flashback. Don't be stupid, Loki. The world government is a big organization. It won't be as easy as you think. Something big happened. OS Castle was attacked, Your Highness. And back in the present at last. After that, I set out to sea. Hajrudin, by the time you guys returned to the island, everyone had already dubbed me Loki the Patricide, and I made no effort to correct that narrative. But it's not like I was crazy enough to brag about killing him either. I just didn't want everything he stood for to be dismissed because of how things turned out. With all that in mind, do you really think I should have told the people everything? He's telling the truth, Hajrudin. Get it already? I really didn't want to relive all this crap. Elder Ja Rule always opposed to your execution. I can understand why you chose to keep the secret. Father choosing death in the face of the government's manipulation. The world government has been our enemy all this time. Oh boy. Oh golly. The Giants are about to be full-on pitted against the world government now that this is coming to light. This will put them on the side of the Straw Hats like never before. To the point that Elbaf is probably going to become another territory of the Straw Hats. I wonder, what did they do to Father? Indeed, and now they've sent more knights to Elbaf, some with deep ties to Harold. Even Loki doesn't know all the details about Harold's dealings in the Holy Land. I can fill you in if you want. That won't be necessary for now, Yasan. We need no further reason to protect our country. Loki, it seems we both feel the same way about Father. I'm sorry for everything. Oh boy, here we go. They're finally actually making amends. For the sake of Elbaf, let's make a stand together. Whoa, that's great, Loki. You can fight now. Yep. Those were sea stone cuffs, and now he can use his like full power. Rawr. It's one of those nightmare things. That's one of the monsters that was rampaging up there. They've got a ton of creatures running wild. Where did they come from? Isn't that a Draugr? I never thought those were real. This'll be a good warm up. Go on ahead. I'll just jump up. Okay, wow. Loki got jumps, huh? What in the world is that? What's going on up there? Hurry it up, Ashridden. Hey, Loki. We admit we judged you when we called you a king-slaying piece of crap. We're really sorry. But this doesn't do all your other things you've done. Shut up and go already. I don't need to hear you guys yap. This is the best. I can move. It's so freeing. Oh boy. Hey, Doc. I know you want to take care of me here, but I'm worried about my son up there. Yeah, you make a good point. Be careful, Sanji. I've got it. Weren't you two going to stay behind? What are you still doing here? I'm dying to see you fight. Alright, let's show him your power. Ragnir. Squeak. Niflheim. Okay, alright. It's like a big... Did he set it on... No, he froze it? Did he freeze the giant nightmare creature? That's what it looks like. It looks like he's in a gigantic block of ice. I thought it was like lightning-y before. But maybe I was just reading that wrong. Yep, a chilling attack. I should have read that. Yeah. A chilling attack. And it's got like the frost coming off of it and everything. Break next week. That is the other thing I knew about this chapter, is that there was going to be a break next week, which is like, wow, really? Another break after we had no One Piece for 2 weeks. Okay. Well, hey, at least we're out of the flashback, right? We finally wrap things up. We're wrapping up a lot of things. Like the flashback is over. Loki and Hashiruden are back on being on good terms. We've seen that Loki might actually stand a chance against these nightmare creatures. We learned that there's ties between Elbaf and the Clan of D. This is a pretty okay chapter. Liked alright, and we found out why Loki was blamed. Apparently, it was his choice. But yeah, now it's time. Let's check out some trailers. No. Don't just start playing. Come on, man. So this, if I can reload this. This is the Doomsday trailer that dropped 12 days ago, January 6th. And it's like, wow. That is, if I can just like take this down, a bit of a spoiler for content to come in Avengers Doomsday, right? And before I watch this, I just want to like make clear my stance, right? So, I was a pretty steady viewer of the MCU all the way up through Infinity War, and I thought it was just so awful that I just stopped watching. And then, so I gave Ant-Man and Wasp a pass along with Captain Marvel, and then Endgame came out, and I didn't watch it in theaters, but I did end up watching it eventually with a friend of mine, because they just asked nicely if I would watch it with them, and then I would do that. And I also thought it was terrible. It was almost as bad, if not worse, than Infinity War. And I won't get too far into that now. I want to do like a video where I review those movies. And yeah, after that, lots more Marvel movies came out that I didn't watch. I made an exception for No Way Home because, like, obviously, right? Like, we're huge fans of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man around here. So the prospect of him coming back was guaranteed to get me into the theater. But other than that, I have not really been keeping up at all. So I don't know how it's gonna go. Watching coming back to Doomsday after having skipped all those movies, like I didn't watch Eternals, uh, Quantumania, Multiverse of Madness. I didn't watch Black Widow or Wakanda Forever or Shang-Chi or golly, hold on, wait, how many of these stinking movies are there? Da, 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 da. Okay, so here we go. So I stopped right here. So then watch Wasp or Captain Marvel. I begrudgingly watched Endgame. Didn't watch Far From Home. I forgot about Far From Home. Didn't watch Black Widow or Shang-Chi or Eternals. No Way Home was good. It was more than good. I thought it was great. Uh, but no Multiverse, no Thor 4, more Thor, no Wakanda Forever, no Quantumania, no Volume 3, no Marvels. Deadpool and Wolverine counts? I mean, I get the. Whatever. Didn't watch Brave New World. Totally forgot about it. Um, I forgot about Thunder. Why is there an asterisk next to this? Denotes the alternate title, The New Avengers, as revealed in the films and oh, whoops. Spoilers. Whatever. My best friend Jaron, he watched it and he said it was actually good, so I might have to take a crack at that. I imagine at some point I'll go back and watch all of these, but as of right now, it's just whatever. Um, First Steps. I watched that because I thought it actually. Um, well, I don't know. It was like it looked good, but I have the sneaking suspicion that it was going to be terrible because it's Fantastic Four, right? It's just cursed. No way is that was there ever going to be, nor would there ever be a good Fantastic Four movie. And then it got proven wrong because First Steps was actually pretty hype. And then Brand New Day. Slow up. I don't know too much about Brand New Day. Like, at all. It's supposed to come out July 31st. I'm not going to read too much into it. I'd rather go in knowing as little as possible, but that I'll go ahead and give a shake. Because, again, No Way Home was pretty good. And more than being good, it made me feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man was finally worthy to be among the other Spider-Men in the cinematic universe. I was pretty pleased with what they did with his character, and it actually made me interested to see where he was going to go from that point on, because at this point, I would like to think that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is now completely unfettered by all of the baggage of, like, Iron Man wanting to be like Iron Man, wanting to be as good as Iron Man, wanting to be as good as other Spider-Men, uh, always feeling inadequate, always trying to be as good or better than somebody else. Now, like, the way No Way Home leaves off is he's just his own thing now, doing his own stuff. He's just Spider-Man all by himself doing his Spider-Man thing. There will be no more need to compare him to anyone else. He can just be good enough and do things on his own. And the story can finally feel like it is about Tom Holland as Spider-Man. That is what I want from this movie. I want them to stop comparing Spider-Man to other people. I want them to stop comparing Tom Holland's Spider-Man to other people. Like, we've done that, okay? He's had his coming of age. Now we can move on to something else. And then there's Doomsday. It's supposed to come out December 18th, and then almost exactly a year later, Secret Wars. No movies planned in between. None. Fascinating. And then the feature wasn't Armor Wars. What happened to Armor Wars? Wasn't it supposed to be a movie? Or it was supposed to be a movie and then it got changed to a TV show and then that got canceled too? Are they really still going forward with Blade? I thought they canceled that. I mean, you think after Deadpool and Wolverine kind of expressed that they got the message that people are fine with there being no more Blade, they just want the one Blade, and that's good enough. A Shang-Chi sequel. I remember people not talking too hype about Shang-Chi. Even my best friend who's like way into martial arts. Untitled X-Men film. There's also a ridiculous number of X-Men movies that I have not watched that I should really catch up on. Because I never watched Dark Phoenix, I never watched The Wolverine or Logan or The New Mutants, whatever it was called. I didn't watch any of those. So that's your primer. Now I can go ahead and watch this with like the most spoilerist like thumbnail and name ever. That's okay. So I already hate Captain America: Civil War. I thought that movie was garbage. But the first thing that I hated about the movie was the fact that they went ahead and spoiled the fact that the MCU Spider-Man makes his debut in that movie. That would have been way better as like a pleasant surprise. Ugh. And now they're just telling you up front that the X-Men are going to be in it. As far as I can tell, looking the way they're supposed to, like it's the proper X-Men costumes, which that I'm gonna like seeing. So let's no. First off, way too loud. Way too loud. All right, let's try again. That is still way too loud. A little quieter. Okay, let's try this again from the top. Okay, it looks like we're in the Sanctum, I guess, maybe, or no, it's the expansion, of course. Oh yeah, freaking what's his name? Freaking Gandalf is supposed to be coming back. Like that guy's no offense, right? Okay, that guy's really, really old. Like I can't believe he's still doing this. I can't believe he hasn't just clocked out doing these movies. Uh, maybe this will be his last hurrah. Maybe now he'll go ahead and call it quits after this last hurrah for the character of Magneto. Wait, by the way, just like a little tangent, Magneto's got the stupidest name in the verse. Straight up. Stupidest name. Your name is Magneto. Oh man, did you come up with that when you were like 4 or something? This is still really loud. Oh, thank you. Thanks, I needed that. That didn't help at all. Just like, there you go. And Patrick Stewart, he's still in there. Golly. And to be clear, like, these guys have been old people my entire life. When I was like a baby, they were already old people. And they're still in the game. That is crazy. All right, well that was that was actually a pretty crap trailer. It didn't tell us a lot at all. It just told us that the X Men are going to be in it. Big whoop. I've honestly okay. I guess that'll really sell the movie for some people, right? Like I'm sure there are people out there who love the X Men the same way that I love Sam Raimi's Spider Man. Like I said, hearing that Tobey Maguire was going to be in No Way Home, that's what got me to watch that movie. But I've never had any romance for the X Men movies, like at all. To me, they're just movies, and they don't really stick with me. Like I barely remember any of them. I've seen one, two, three. I've seen original Ovaltine. I've seen First Class. First Class was actually good. I enjoyed that one. And Apocalypse, with freaking Ivanus. Oh, that movie sucked. That was like really boring. Absolutely bizarre decision to make that I don't know what you call it, not a period piece. Like to like set it in the 80s and that's like a big motif for the movie is that it's got lots of 80s references in it. Like you didn't actually have enough to make a movie, did you? Like you realized the script was really underfed and so you decided to set it in the 80s. To just pad it out with characters talking about the 80s and being in the 80s. Okay. But yeah. And then there's another one. This came out uh, just 5 days ago. So we're going to go ahead and check this one out as well. Thrilling. Looks like the beginning of a Star Wars movie. Oh, that costume looks cool. It's like the new Black Panther or something. I have no idea who this is supposed to be. They look like garbage CG. Like that looks really bad. That looks epically bad. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Are there elves now? I know there were like dark elves in freaking Thor 2. But like, man, this guy got like no nose, by the way. Can we just talk about that? Can we talk about how this guy has like a flat face? Okay. But yeah, I guess there are elves. Okay. Nice King. Okay. All right. Hold on. From this angle, I saw the like white jumpsuit and like the orange face with stuff sticking out of it. It looked like Admiral Akbar. I don't know why I thought that. I think I forgot what trailer I'm watching. Okay, that's cool. That trailer also sucks. All it does is just tell us what characters are going to be in the movie. It doesn't tell us anything about the movie. Those trailers were awful. I don't even have a lot to say about them. Those were just like massively underfed trailers. All I know now is that Doomsday is going to have elves in it. Let's just watch this next trailer. So this is the new trailer. I think this is the new trailer. Dropped 6 days ago from Netflix. It is for the next season of Flick's Piece. Let's fire this up. We've got our Nico Robin already. Looking okay. Oh, we got our Mr. 3 conjuring like a little wax sword. Hey, don't do that, okay? So clearly we are okay. So this is Logtown. We've got the distant storm. I think that's the execution platform over there. If I can just yeah, there's the distant storm, the execution platform, and it looks like we're like Buggy's going to be playing a bigger role in the Logtown arc because now he's got like a whole carnival set up. There's our Vivi. Yeah, Miss All Sunday looking pretty good. There's anime Lenny Kravitz. Rockin' what look shouldn't these be Doflamingo sunglasses? That's a little weird looking. Miss Golden Week. Dang, Mr. 3 is so pale in this version. What is up? Dang, man, you good? You need some sunlight, bro. You need to touch some grass. He looks like a creep. He looks like really fucking. Well, he looks like Mr. 3. Well, Mr. 3 with a serious vitamin D deficiency, I guess. Oh, that's cool. We got uh, Drum Island looking the way it should. We got characters doing their signature moves. That was badass. Robin straight up like murked that guy. Yeah, characters looking the way they should. Hold on a second. What is going on? YouTube YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, experience viewers will experience. Oh, what did I just click? Poor. Uh, I don't know. I shouldn't have clicked on that. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Not receiving enough video. I mean, whatever. The preview looks fine to me. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have a problem, but I mean, okay. But yeah, characters, costumes, locations, all on point. Characters doing their signature moves, their signature poses. That's pretty cool. Oh, man. Okay. Reverse mountain looking epic. That is super cool looking, actually. That is like, that's the first thing that's really wowed me in terms of visuals and pretty much the entire series. That is like, that is really good. Well, that and I guess Mihawk's costume and makeup. I really like the way that he looks, pretty much exactly the way he should look. That was like my favorite costume. That and Buggy, those were like the standout costumes, and just like really perfect casting for those characters. Okay, well, OBS's YouTube Live Control Panel plugin is saying that it's not that everything should be good now. I can't tell what's going on with this music. Are we supposed to recognize this? Is this like a leitmotif? It just seems like generic music. Oh my gosh, we've got the unluckies. That is, oh, that is uncanny. So what the hell? They'll cut Hachan, but they won't cut the unluckies. What is the mindset behind that? Oh my gosh. No. No, you can't just hit me with the Igaram jump scare, okay? You can't just do that. Like I am impressed with these costumes so far. Vivi doesn't Vivi doesn't have like the ridiculous like concentric circles around her Vivis. I see. That is okay. All right. I'm glad. I'm glad we've committed. Oh my gosh, that looks nasty. That's like what? Are we gonna have the stupid Luffy versus Zoro fight scene that nobody likes? Are they gonna learn to not have that in this season? Or are they gonna feel like they have to have it anyway? One Piece One Piece into the Grand Line. Yeah. Boo. I've always been saying that the subtitle for the season should be Memoirs of a Desert Kingdom. Oh, but I'm then again, I guess we're not going to. For some reason, well, not for some reason. I know why. It's because Alabasta is like the longest arc. Uh, it was the longest arc of its time, so I figured that's going to be its own season. Uh, that or they're going to mash it up with Skypiea because Skypiea does not strike me as being like Skypiea is a little too underfed to be its own season, right? So they're probably going to mash those together. Season 3, the subtitle should be Memoirs of a Desert Kingdom. But yeah, March 10th, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the second anniversary for Cross Age Productions. And the way we got started was watching Flix Piece. So that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, everything's looking the way it's supposed to. Here's the rub, and I know I've talked about this before, but if we're really in this for the long haul, what's that gonna be like for these actors? Because I mean, it's live action. People age. Actual One Piece takes place over the course of 3 or 4 years. We waited 2 years just to get the second season. Over 2 years. These actors are gonna age. They're probably going to need to be replaced at some point. If this is still going to be the story about a young pirate, like a young man becoming a pirate rookie with his other young adventurers, we're gonna need to swap these actors at some point, and that's gonna be sad. Because as I understand it, Oda actually had a big hand in like handpicking these actors. I don't know, but that's yeah. Oh, I meant to put this back on. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem, but I like to be cautious. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Da-da-da. It's 2:25. It's too early to wrap up, so I figure I'll squeeze in a game of what are you doing? What are you doing? BTD6, please. Thank you. Here we go. Let's go ahead and fire up some BTD6 to round things out. So let's see. What do we got today? We got boring. For what? That's not. I already had camo traps. I hate this about BTD6. Stop giving me these notifications that I have new powers. They are not new powers. I have 10 camo traps. This is not a new power. Stop alerting me every. I hate this. This is like an irrational part of my brain. I know it shouldn't bother me, but anytime there is a little notification telling me that there's something new and that I need to check it out, just drives me nuts. That just never ever goes away. Like I can click on this, it, okay, cool. No, I don't care. I really don't. There. I don't want to. I feel like I have to clear these old notifications, even though I don't want to. So what are we doing today? Well, the first thing we're doing is we're turning off the stupid fast track double cash. I unlocked small bosses finally. And I figure at some point I'm going to have to tackle this boss. Not on stream. Because I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't like the way that boss events are designed. The design of bosses feels really lazy to me, honestly. Where they're just kind of slapped on top of normal game modes for the most part. And so I feel like that's just in defiance of good game design. Like each challenge should prepare you for the next in a video game, right? We can all agree on that. But bosses introduce all these like unprecedented mechanics that you can't really prepare for without having witnessed them firsthand. But the boss doesn't spawn until you're 40 rounds deep. So you spend all this time saving up this money, building up your defenses, only to find out that your defenses are inadequate. You lose, and you have to start over. So you got to do those 40 rounds again, and you got to ask yourself, "Well, will my defense work this time? No. What about this time? What if I tried this? What does this work? No. It's just too much guesswork. There's too many vectors and variables. Like I just really feel like it is extremely difficult to prepare for these bosses. And so the way I've always beaten them is to just go to YouTube and follow step by step someone else's strategy guide. Because I don't want to start over and try different things again and again and again, trying to figure out what works. So, by coincidence, if you look at the icon for the achievement 25 to life, it actually shows you the 5 bosses that I happened to defeat. It was well everyone besides Blastopopolis, Lich, Dread Balloon, um, Lunarius, Phase, and Vortex. Where is it? It should be right around here. Yeah, there it is. So that's a funny little coincidence. Blastopopolis is the only boss that I have never fought. Never. Not on mobile and not on desktop. So I'm going to be kind of looking forward to seeing what that's going to be like. And I'm also just going to go ahead and say it, no shame. I often use, if it is allowed, I will often use double cash on boss fights. Because that's the only way I feel like I have any wiggle room to try out different strategies and kind of go off script from the online strategy guides. So I can do my own thing and not feel like I'm just following instructions. Because a lot of times that just feels like the only chance I have at beating bosses. So we turned off double cash. We turned off fast track. Let's see what we can play today. We can play Park Path on double HP mobs. That's a little boring though. What about this? What do we have here? Half cash? Frozen over on half cash. That sounds like it might be fun. I'll take a crack at that. So, I don't know. Do I want to take Brickle or do I want to take Ben for the extra money? Because I don't know. I don't know. I'm really split. I don't know. What do you guys think? Brickle. I could probably get away with not rocking Brickle. Even though I am going to be using primarily water-based monkeys. Because it's half cash, I'm gonna go ahead and rock Benjamin. I'll rock Benjamin, and maybe if I really save up, I can get him an Energizer. Probably not, though. We'll see. There we go. This is my classic opening for Frozen, whatever it's called. I forget what this map is called already. Whatever. Oh, is auto start on? I do not want that. Not right now. We're gonna. Well, first thing we gotta do is save up for Grape Shot, because I really need the crowd control. I can go ahead and take these off, by the way. This is always the agonizing thing, because Grape Shot is so central to the appeal of the Buccaneer. And yet, as far as like tier 1 upgrades go, it is one of the most expensive. It takes a lot of saving just to get the first upgrade. Thankfully, I got my Monkey Nog, so I got my like Mana Shield, and I got my pre-game prep, so got a little more leeway in the early game to screw up. While this is going, can I go ahead and like pull up some music, get some music going? Oh boy, we're really there. We go. There's our grape shot, and now I think we can save up for. Hmm. Hmm. I think we're gonna save up for Ben. We're gonna save up for Ben, and then we're going to save up for. The 40s is too early to actually get an alchemist with rubber to gold. That's probably not going to be until the 40s. Because I'm going to need the defense. Once I get Ben on the field, I'm going to start investing more in old Salty here. And start slowly building my way to a Pirate Lord, if I can afford that. There we go. Nope. I can't hear anything. Hey, what the heck? I thought I switched it to... Okay, there we go. Ooh, that's loud. There we go. Just have that softly playing in the background. A little softer. Don't want copyright ID. Just a little soft background noise. Okay, now we can go ahead and turn auto start on. Because we got a long way to go. And this guy's got it pretty much locked down all the way up until we run into our first camo balloon. Hopefully we'll be able to save up for Ben before we need our crow's nest. That's still kind of loud. There we go. Yeah, grape shot is freaking amazing. Again, one of the most expensive tier 1 upgrades, but also one of my favorites. It blows me away how much crowd control the Buccaneer can do all by itself. And the way it can fire out of both sides simultaneously, it's incredible. Okay, here comes Ben. Eventually. Come on. Man, these shelves of mine are getting pretty dusty. I'm going to have to turn small monkeys back on. I keep forgetting to do that. Every time I see this icon on this little logo on the back of his laptop, I keep thinking it's the logo for the Marines from One Piece. Anybody else see that? But yeah, my shelves are starting to get pretty dusty. I should dust them properly, but I'm really lazy. I'm probably just gonna get a... This is what I do. I just get a big old can of canned air. Just blast everything. And knock everything over and make an even bigger mess. So, let's... Oh boy, it's getting kind of dicey. So let's go ahead and crank it up a bit. Hot shot. Uh-oh. There we go. There's our crow's nest. I should pitch shift these tracks to help with copyright ID. Ooh. That's bad. Uh-oh, we're kind of testing the limits of this ship here. Thankfully, we got a hot shot, so we're already ready for the leads. Just really want to see if we can get monkey pirates before round 40. All right, we've got cannon ships, so we're locked in for the next 10 rounds. We should be able to get 4,300 in that time, yeah. I don't think you ever noticed that at some point DJ Benjamin loses his laptop. Now the little Marines logo is on the front of his kit. By the way, what you're listening to right now is my lo-fi mix of, excuse me, Hammerhead from Final Fantasy 15. Really love this track. It's real mellow. Sad that's the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack is so underfed. Because it's got bangers, but not actually a whole lot of original tracks. I guess they just decided, well, hey, we're going to let people buy soundtracks from other Final Fantasy games to play over the car's sound system feature. So we don't really need that many original scores. And I think that's sad. And then this is a chill version of Rising Sun that I picked up somewhere. I don't remember where. This is supposed to be from a Squaresoft game, but I've never heard it before. I don't know what game it's from. It's really sick, though. Honestly, I should just download these lo-fi versions to my phone. There we go. There's Monkey Pirates. Speaking of my phone, I've been majorly paring down my music collection. Because when I got my new phone back in 2020, I kind of went on like a musical pilgrimage. That was a time when I was just like ravenous for new music. I wanted to collect as much music as possible so that I could have like a one-stop shop for like all the rock and roll classics, right? And I managed to I managed to collect 5,000 tracks. But here's the thing. The way I listen to music usually is through like very meticulously crafted and curated playlists that will go on for hours. So if I want to listen to Foo Fighters, I will listen to hours and hours of Foo Fighters. Just like album after album after album. If I listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, I will listen to like 2 or 3 hours of Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it's fun. But when you listen to music like that, and I listen to music pretty often, it's a pretty big part of my life, you start to kind of key in on all the little things that make songs sound the same. All the tropes and cliches, the popular like keys, chords, chord progressions. I didn't notice that when you upgrade to rubber to gold, he gets a cape. I thought he always had that. And so the more you pick up on that stuff, the more you kind of appreciate the songs that really stand out. And the songs that don't stand out as much, the ones that just kind of blend in, the ones that are just kind of average, I started pairing them from my music collection. Because too often I felt like I was just kind of like just sort of sitting through some pretty mediocre songs to get to the songs I actually wanted to listen to. So I started pairing them. I went from 5,000 to 4,000, and then down to 3,000, and now I'm trying to get it down to 2,000 songs, to where it's just the hits, the songs that I'm actually excited to listen to. There we go. And I like to rock, just to be sure, I like to rock two rubber to gold to get good coverage. I'll set one to strong and one to last. And that's usually good enough to make sure everything is basted in gold. There we go. And then I'll get them a radar scanner, and I'll help them attack a little faster. Come on, jungle drums. There you go. So now my money-making engine is pretty much set up. I might get a merchantman or favorite trades later. I'm not sure. I probably will. Because, I mean, it's only round 52. We got a long ways to go. So let me go ahead and pick this up. But yeah, like I was saying, when it comes to music, I've realized that unless I have some sort of nostalgia or romanticism for a song, it just doesn't really belong in my connection. I need that personal, emotional connection with a song to want to listen to it. Because to me, music is almost like a time machine. It's something very sentimental. It brings me back to an older, fonder time. Not that I don't listen to new music, though. I guess the way I look at it, I want music to either uh, bring me back to the past, or I want it to bring me somewhere new. Like if it's not something old and familiar, then I want it to be like fresh and and either like chill or like really energetic. Not too into like melancholy or aggressive songs. Or yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. Ugh. Oh my gosh, something's wrong with my nose. Suddenly I feel like I got busted in the nose. You know how you hit your nose and everything smells kind of weird for a little bit? And that's kind of what I'm getting right now. Okay, favorite trades. Let's go. I'm probably not going to be able to afford a pirate. I don't know. It's only round 61. Dudes are kind of starting to squeeze past me, though. I don't know if I like that. Wait a second. Let me refresh my memory. How do Benjamin's abilities work? Because I got this now. Cash per pop from infected balloons is double last 10 seconds. It's called siphon funding. And then it gets upgraded when he's level 20. That's a long ways away. That's not going to happen. We're going to try and make timely use of it in round 63. Because, I mean, we all know what round 63 is like. That being said, it's not really going to be good enough. I should be able to blow them away. I've got pretty strong... Ooh, that's kind of tight. I don't like that. Let me do this. Ooh, just barely made it. Wow, that's a lot of mobs. Are we going to be good? Yeah, we're going to be good. This, though. Okay, let me start looking at assets I can sell. So these are worth about 9,000. 9,000, like 13,400. I've kind of gotten past the problematic rounds, though. I should be able to hold tough now. Hold tough? Is that even work? Hang tough. There we go. And we should have this BFB handled. I don't really need the harpoon for this one. Oh, or do I? Wait, does this affect mobs at all? I don't think it does. I think mobs just kind of stay the way that they are. I kind of want to sell everything, but I also kind of don't. Like, this is starting to make me kind of nervous. And there's no way I'm going to be able to afford that Energizer. I don't know what I was talking about. Like, I am barely going to be able to afford a Pirate Lord at this rate. It's probably only going to be by selling a bunch of stuff. Okay, there we go. We got some leads coming in. That's going to get us a little more money. Oh, yeah. That feels good. That is way better. Okay, all right. Maybe we don't need to sell anything after all. Maybe we kind of got it locked down. It'll be good if I can fire off Siphon Funding right at the end of round 75. And then just totally screw up round 76. Are we good? We were almost not good. Okay, I'm not clear on this, though. So, This has the mob takedown ability. Pirate Lord says extra cash from each mob class balloon taken down. Okay, so does that mean that the regular Monkey Pirates does not get a cash bonus at all? It's just regular cash? Oh my gosh, we are almost there. Just a little bit more and we'll have our Pirate Lords. Come on. We should be able to get it just in time for round 76, and then I won't need to use siphon funding. Bruh. And there we go. Wow, that was actually like even earlier than expected. Yeah, wow. You know, every once in a while, I think about it, and it's crazy how much power creep has made it possible to dominate a map with only a small handful of monkeys. Think back to BTD 1, where each tower only had 2 upgrades. Except for the Super Monkey, which only had 1 upgrade. You would need a ridiculous number of monkeys. Like, you would need to almost fill the map with monkeys in order to be able to hang tough by the end of that game, which is like, I think the original was 50 rounds deep. Nowadays, you can find 1 monkey that is as tough as like 6 fully upgraded monkeys from BTD 1 put together. But yeah, we pretty much got this unlocked now. And it's been a couple hours, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. I didn't really have too much planned for this stream. Just because I've had my mind on other things. It's been tough financially. I mean, I don't want to come off as an e-beggar. I mean, my finances are my own responsibility, not anyone else's. I mean, I've got a real job, so if I need money, I should just save up. I should just be more fiscally responsible. But it was looking a little tight for a little bit, and so I'm taking steps to selling my art. I mean, you know, we've done plenty of painting streams on this channel, and so I want to try and get like prints made of my work that I can sell. First thing I'm gonna do is just sell locally. I'll just talk to like local businesses, almost be like door to door, and ask them if they need some art. I know some people who would probably be interested. And then maybe at some point set up an Etsy account. I don't know. The one thing I do not want to do is like hang my stuff up at the local art gallery because they have like an exorbitant price, like a monthly price to rent space on their walls, and that's not really something I'm interested in. I'm trying to make money. And like a really like prospective market, like traditional art, where a profit is not necessarily guaranteed. Like, just no way. I'm not paying to rent out wall space for my stuff at a local gallery. I'm going to be doing canvas prints. But I was talking to my dad about it, and I feel like maybe I was I feel like I was preemptive to dismiss paper prints as an option because I thought that was like too cheap. I thought that would cheapen the work, cheapen the experience. But he talked to me, and I realized there is actually like you can get prints on like really nice uh, poster paper, and the places that I had gone to for prints, they were talking about how much it would cost to frame something. But people, if people like your work, they will just pay for their own frames. They don't need you to frame your own stuff for them. So I feel like I was too early uh, in dismissing paper prints as an option. I think people would like a cheaper option for prints of my work. So I'm gonna talk to like a local shop about both paper and canvas prints, and then start offering them locally. And then I figure at some point I'll open up an Etsy account and sell my stuff online. Uh, and then other future plans. I mean, I had already talked about like future videos. As for the next stream, well, One Piece is on break, so we're not streaming next Sunday. I figure the next stream is gonna be February 1st at the usual time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you can look forward to seeing us then, and hopefully by then I will have gotten permission from that one YouTuber to use his score and, for my little off screen, my little airing soon screen. So I'll be working on that. I'm also working on a side project. So I like watching Room of Friend, right? He's pretty much my Oshi. He's one of, if not my favorite VTuber. And I was working on like a best of compilation for his playthrough of the entire Kingdom Hearts series. And it's been on the back burner for a while, but I want to try and start squeezing that into my regular schedule from now on. Put that together bit by bit, brick by brick. Because after that, I also want to make a compilation based on his Final Fantasy X playthrough. Yeah, that's the plan. By the way, I didn't show this off, but my keyboard. Oh, nice view, jackass. Let me just. Okay, so it doesn't really show up really well on camera, but I changed up the color of my keyboards to be the new Cross Age Productions color. So I got a little bit of pink right there. All right, whatever. But hey, thanks for tuning in. All your support is appreciated because every view, like, comments, subscription, follow, it all helps push us on to bigger and better things. Uh, for now, though, Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. And just in case, there's always the opportunity for some unforeseen circumstance or catastrophic disaster. So, in case anything happens where I need to change my streaming schedule, these socials down here are your portal to learning about future goings on for the channel. If you had to pick one to follow, I would pick Twitter because it's just the one that's the easiest to manage. But yeah, again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. And you have a good night.